Welcome, guys. So the analysis from the previous week. It was a perfect retest, looks like, and we saw the divergence on the destroyer we were talking about on a daily basis. We saw a sideways movement. Actually, the last week was a bit chaotic. If we can say that there was a ranging market, up and down moves, not a clear direction, but we bounced beautiful from this line from the previous weeks, and we are looking for a continuation movement. As we know, there is a middle line on the airway. This is the new indicator based on energy volume levels, and like the 50% is a point when the price is about to break out. So this is gonna be interesting. Let's see how the destroyer reacts, because right now on the daily basis we see a divergence and we are under the zero line, and we are still under the fifth percent, and also on VVV we got the bullish side of the market, but we are still under the zero line. But on the volume we still see there is a possible up move, and from this bounce I would say let's get it, because also on the weekly basis, which I wrote the last week, we got a beautiful bounce, and we are above the zero line, so this could be make an up movement to the previous high. So this is the target. I won't say this will happen just next week. I think it will take a bit more time. Okay, but this is the first target, the previous high. If the market stays like this way, excuse me. So we are looking from this Canadian weakness and USD strength. All right, that is the first pair. The Audi NZD. So it's like on weekly basis breakout, and this could be the retest. We see it more beautiful on daily basis. Also, when I said last week the volume was rising, and this could be the retest point actually, and after that a following move to the downside. We were under the zero line. We got the bearish momentum right away on weekly basis as well, but it was a long bear run. I still waiting for correction move, so I don't expect the market to fall down. It was a beautiful fall, but we need still a correction to make some space, maybe a sideways movement, like what we saw, not exactly like this because it was not movement, but more sideways like this is needed to this price to continue to fall, because we are still looking for the bearish momentum on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Okay, so we are still looking for strength in NZD, but not against the Australian dollar. I think both of the currencies are weak right now, and mm, how I see the ZXY and the BXY is only which is closed in green. Okay, this could be something good, but let's see the Euro GPB. We saw a possible divergence, but it was also from the higher side. And here, I'm looking for the bear momentum. We got a buy right now, but the VVV momentum turned in red, actually. So I want to see a correction, at least up to this point, which is about 60 pips. And then we see right away, this is also a sideway movement right now. So this is also not that interesting actually. But if we looking on daily basis, we see we got the divergence from under, but also from above. And then no, we got a convergence from above, to be precise. What is the previous high? If you're looking for the previous high, maybe a small divergence, but it will depend on the opening. And how I see on the RSI volume is also breaking the fifth line, but from the other side, the flex fib got smaller. So our support zone is moving upwards. So I will still looking for a stronger euro and weaker GPB actually. But I will check the smaller time frames later on. This was beautiful as well. We got on the weekly basis, but let's start on daily basis from 2 weeks. This was a breakthrough test, and then we got the divergence on their side and the bounce from 61. Right now we got the divergence, so I will expect a stronger CHF for next week, because you see the volume. We should break this point, but I don't think this is about to happen. How I see the DXY right now, looking for the euro weakness. This could also mean that against GPB, but we are looking for two weaker pairs. This is not the point. Always look for a strong pair and a weak pair, and comparing the weakest and the strongest actually. All right, now I will say definitely that I will trade against the euro instead of the CHF if I see something in the market. This is about to break the fifth line, in my opinion, and also we broke about the zero line, but we got the divergence right away. So let's see on weekly basis. Yeah, still in the sell. We are going down, but we got the bull momentum for last week, but I think this could continue fall down with the opening next week. All right, but on 2 p.m. we will see more when the indexes opening got the opening time. Okay, so this is about the regional pairs. First thing first. So USD strength got weakness. I think both of the AUD and ZD gonna get weakness actually, but if you want to trade against the Australian pairs actually, then I will pick the Australian dollar instead of New Zealand dollar. Let's see on Euro GBP on smaller time frames what it's about to happen. Yeah, there is clear bearish momentum on 12 hours, same on 6 hours, but if you see the volume is on the downside, so I would say going up, going down like it did here. See, it looks like a breakout, but I don't think it will be a breakout. I would say we're going up and going down like we did last week. This is not so interesting to trade, in my opinion. Maybe on smaller time frames, sketch those moves, but we don't have a clear direction right now. I will draw a trend line would look like this. So it was a break retest right here, and we could draw, or maybe this connection right here. Okay, this connection right here, and so it means that we got the breakout actually, no, and now it's making a kind of retest, but this could go even more on the bearish side, but after that I expect a bounce to the upside. Okay, let's see. I read that on the 4 hour. Let's see the DXY. DXY doesn't reach my target. Actually, it was very close. Should draw that a bit. Anyways, it was a nice breakout. I would see a correction right now, which I said also last week, correction to the previous break point. Also on the on the fifth flag sweep, okay, and maybe even to the 61, but this needs to retest. We're getting the bullish side of the market, but if you see, there is already which I said last week in the sideways movement, there is a possible divergence forming right now, and the previous high has to break to cancel that the divergence, and I don't think this will happen. So what I see, okay, I can move that anyways. So the volume is going up. Yeah. Volume is going up, and we got the previous high, so we see clearly the divergence, right? But even if it rising still higher points, I wouldn't say our previous high gonna be reached. I'm targeting more like this 38 would be awesome, and then the volume will be so overbought that test to fall down actually. So correction and down. This is the next possible movement of the DXY. Okay, next target. Let's see the XY. We reached the zone from the previous weeks. I said we need the correction, but like in the sideways market, that was not a bigger move. What I see right now, we are above the zero line. So I would say we are looking still for a bull momentum, but because the last week was not a big move, I will say only to this point, to the 61 and rise up. Okay, because we see already divergence forming as well. We are above the fifth line, but on the overbought zone, maybe a bit retest and then make some space for the next movement. That will, I think this is the right scheme here. Okay. Yes. This is looking good actually. From the oversold level, we can see a rising point. The XY, yes, we reached the previous level. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, and like I said last week, let's see a correction movement. I will prefer to the previous breakpoint actually, but it will depend on next week if the market get some liquidity. Okay, we'll check the economic calendar as well. Okay, I see there is news in 4 minutes. Nice. We won't see that movement. Probably there will be a gap, an opening gap, which is about to fill the following hours of the day. Okay, but right now for this week, I want to see a weaker euro. This is the next move, in my opinion. Yes, this is beautiful. This is XY. Here about zero line, the divergence forming from the underside, maybe a correction move, but still, even if it comes down, there will be so big difference in the volume on destroyer that there is no other point than turning back and going up, right? So this will be nice. Okay, just a bit correction around the zero line, and yeah, because this is a huge divergence right now. And if you see, here is the previous low. Okay, the AXY almost the same, divergence forming, but still a bearish momentum. So maybe on daily basis, The start of the week will be bearish and the end of the week will be bullish. That's looking good for me, actually. The same divergence, still above the zero line. That's a good point. The SXY. Yes, I will delete this because you see that was from 2 weeks ago, and that level was crushed actually. Now I see on weekly basis we got a convergence, which is a breakout. Okay, that was a nice movement, nice pullback. But right now a bearish movement, a correction as well. But on daily basis, if you see where this, where the previous low is right here. So there is a lot of space. Actually, even if the price comes back to this point, there will be huge divergence. Okay, so I'm still looking for let's say between the 5th and the 61, and from this point, because we will see something like this on the zero line as well. Now is a clear correction move. Most of the pairs actually. The BXY, we got the breakout. Let's see on weekly basis. That was interesting, as I said last week as well, because we closed like that, and if the price bounced back, yeah, then it doesn't get that break. But right now, I drawed monthly. Right now, it's looking that our previous high is about to break. So, on monthly basis, if this happened, we could see a very long-term bullish pound actually. And I think it's also time to rise, because you see the pound, yeah, from 2008, it's a down movement. There is a correction needed, and this could be a pretty good start actually with this break. What I want to see right now, because you see the mini divergence from above on the destroyer, is a kind of retest to those levels, and then a huge move up. Actually, this could be something big. The last time I catch something like that was, I think it was this point. Yeah, that was this point in 2000. Wait a minute. Let me check it. Yes, 2019, 9 October. It was this move. That was beautiful pattern. I get the before after as well, on GPB GPY, and that was a movement like in I think 1 or 2 days, 640 pips. So it was a nice movement, and I am expecting something like that here. I will share the before after in the group if you want to see. It was before after. It was a nice channel breakout and actually right momentum there. And boom. So that's why I'm looking mostly the British pound, because there is a huge movement most of the times. And I think after the correction, this will be also a big movement, because it needs a correction. We reached the all-time low, in my opinion. The pound was never so weak like the previous years. Okay. So I will follow this up on what happens with the XY and with the pound, most of the pairs actually. But that's it. It's pretty interesting. All right, same on the CXY. Like I said, in the USD CAD, we got the previous week the divergence retest on the trend line and bounce from the trend line, and that worked out perfectly actually. It's almost time to delete those drawings for the new ones. But what we see right now is also divergence forming. So we got the bounce, but we can't reject that fact that there is here a divergence between the price okay, this is a bit up at this point. So it is the previous low actually, and if you see where the price is right now, even if this comes down, there will be a huge difference in the price, and we are still above the zero line as a point, and also above the fifth line on the airway. I think Monday I will add RV as well, because I think it's sharing a different view when it's overbought or something, when the divergence comes in and this is still on the top or something like that. And also look, and even if the destroyer turning in volume and the price doesn't move, you can see when the price is actually about to move with the RV, because it's based fully on the candles, and it will show the real-time movement. That's why you see so many moves in there. Okay, so we are around actually. Let's see something from gold. This is also beautiful. Triple bottom, like we saw. And like I said, there was a structural divergence. Okay. So it was a beautiful move from the last 2 weeks, and I traded on the correction of this actually, which we saw on smaller time frames. But we are still above the zero line. And if you see, here is the previous point of the destroyer, and where you see the price right now, there is also big difference. Okay, so even if the price is about to make correction down, until this point we will have a divergence. Okay, so watch this movement, because this has the potential to turn around. The only way, because gold can do that actually, if the price is breaking the previous point, then we got the convergence. But even if that happens, we need a correction up and then a continue move down if this happens. Okay. But first of all, I want to see the divergence. If the divergence breaks, then we will look for the next scenario. All right. The US 30, maybe. There is a divergence. Oh, there is a divergence actually on daily basis, and on weekly we are heading down, but the price is moving up. Oh, shit. And from the 61 fib, this is a nice rejection actually. What bothers me is more this. How I see this point is, even if we are going up for one more movement and a harsh breakout, like if you know how mostly traders trade, they will see this point, okay? And if this breaks, they will say like, okay, let's go. But if this breaks out tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, then the volume is about to rise. But it will be a higher point, so this gonna make a divergence. And why I'm saying that, because I already see on the VVV plus a structural divergence forming, and we are also on airway on the overbought point. And if you see the previous length of this, and you see what's happening right now and what happened after that, I think this will be a false breakout to say most of the people here are gonna place some buy positions, and when the divergence hit in, yeah, it will be a painful movement for them, in my opinion. Okay, so same here. If the price is now moving up, there will be some kind of divergence right here. Okay, this is also interesting, in my opinion, because if you see where the previous high was and where the price was at that point is almost on the same level. Okay, I'm gonna do like this. But if you see on the VV, this is on a higher point already. Okay, the volume is on a higher point already. So I will say first false breakout and then a continue move down. Okay, and don't forget, guys, I think there is a recession already, but it's just started. Okay, I think there will be a lot bigger crashes in the market, because this happened, but right now I wouldn't say much good about the world economy. All right, this was the previous high on the euro, Hungarian forint. There was a divergence. The divergence bounced actually, and right now we got the cross breaking about zero line, and we are green on the area as well. So I would say I want to see a continue, maybe a bit sideways like it did this at this point. It's kind of like head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders what's forming right now, in my opinion. And I think we will break after that the previous high, which is also an all-time high. And let's say the forint is about to get to this point. And I'm laughing right now, but if you see, okay, what happened in Turkey, it was something different, but I think I can say that something something same is about to happen with the Hungarian forint. So the last year's his pullback and then correction move, and it's still going. If you see how the price is reacting, actually we're just reaching the zero line, and the divergences comes in constantly. So yeah, I think the same scenario is waiting for the forint as well. And I don't dare to say where is the highest point of the forint, right? Maybe BTC, PTC. Yes, there was divergence, like you know, from the previous points. I want to see. I think that was on monthly basis, and still there's 10 days left from the monthly close, but there is a huge divergence. Like I said, there are new people right here, so I will show this is happening right now actually, and we are under the zero line as well. So even with that bigger movement from last week's, we don't see the destroyer to turn down, but needs to turn down. But what it will happen, like I said, also the last Zoom, there will, if the price comes down in the next month, there will be a huge bullish divergence, which I already drawed. Okay, so I'm waiting for that momentum, because that will be a hard pullback in my opinion. Okay, I think the next safe haven will be Bitcoin, definitely Bitcoin. Okay, so thank you guys, and we'll stop the recording.